Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. If you're an introvert like me, and you happen to be, let's say, someone who's interested in language learning and, speaking in a different language, or a foreign language for that matter, you probably know how it feels like to struggle, really. Because you see, for us introverts, it's not really that easy to start small talks with just random strangers or even anyone who's really familiar with us but are not really close to us. And then another thing is that when small talks are just the thing, like you only have small talks. Okay, when introverts like us only have I only have small talks, but we don't have like deeper conversations with others. For us, I think it's exhausting. Yeah, having conversations about maybe someone else's life or someone else's relationship is really exhausting. Like, why would we talk about someone else's, let's say, family problems, right? Unless it has moral implications, or it's existentially compelling, right? But as far as what you might call ordinary gossips are concerned, it's not interesting for us. We're not interested in what you might call common gossips. We are interested in what we think are meaningful conversations. And these conversations are very deep. They have to do with maybe existence or morality or beauty, and meaning, and society, even, and education, and even politics, perhaps. And so it's not easy for us to practice speaking a foreign language, even our native language. It's not easy, really. It's not that we hate small talks. It's just that we feel that small talks should lead to deeper conversations, right? And so, being an introvert, it's very difficult for me, really, to practice my English, in what you might call live conversations. I know there are Facebook groups out there, or maybe websites where people are free to practice their English with, other people, right? But then, again, in such Facebook groups or and online, online conversations, free online conversations, the topics, in my experience at least, most of them are not interesting. Okay, I'm not saying they are objectively not interesting for everyone. I'm just saying that for me, and probably for other introverts like me, they are not interesting. So, for example, like what was the last, what was the last thing that you bought online, this month? Like, why would we even talk about that? But I'd be interested in, let's say, talking about consumerism and its ethical implications, and whether or not we should resist consumerism, or maybe regulate it, or moderate it, things of that sort. Those things are meaningful to me, and for many introverts like me, and it's at least in my observation, because I have friends who are also introverts. And another thing that makes it even more difficult for us introverts, not just in, not just in the field of language learning, but also in, just, living in what you might call polite society, if you will, is that many of us are seen as antisocial, or we hate people, or we are unfriendly, or we are mean. But that's just the opposite. We care. We care. We truly care. We are extremely sensitive. That's why we really listen carefully. Either we listen carefully or we ignore, the things that we don't care about. But when we really listen, we really do, and carefully. And we ask questions when we think that we don't understand, something or many things, especially for someone like me. Like, I'm stupid, so I ask a lot of questions. So it's not really that easy to learn English and even practice English, or any language really, even my native language, as an introvert. So if you're an introvert like me, then you probably understand me. At least that's what I think. And if you're not an introvert, maybe if you're an ambivert, or maybe you are an extrovert, then I hope this video gives you some insights into why introverts behave in the way that they do. And understanding is really important, especially for us introverts. We care a lot. We're very sensitive. We're highly sensitive people. Okay, thank you very much for listening.